Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. For this video we'll be going through an unboxing of the McLaren twin set, which includes the Solus GT and the F1 LM. And this particular McLaren set is part of the recent wave of LEGO Speed Champions released within the first quarter of 2023. So this will actually wrap up the actual release wave itself. I've done all the individual vehicles before, which included the Nissan Skyline, the Pagani Utopia, the Porsche 963 and the Ferrari Competizione. So with that out of the way, here we have the front of the box of the McLaren twin set. I can only imagine that this is the Solus GT and this is the F1, based on a little bit of deductive reasoning. Very interesting look to both of them. Orange is an interesting color, but yes, it's they're both very interesting, to say the least. I'm not sure what to think about the stylized look on the F1. It does remind me a little bit of the Porsche, but yeah, it's an interesting hybrid look. In terms of the back of the box, so the usual rear shot of each of the two vehicles, which is fairly stock standard. Some very interesting detailing here on the Solus. Each of the two vehicles per their real life counterparts. Definitely very interesting profiles to both. And then we just have a nice shot of each one as well. So a shot from the front for the Solus and a side shot, I dare say. Probably I'm not sure what this would be. Probably not a gimmick per se, but something definitely moves. So, now that we've had a look at the outside of the box, time to crack it open and have a better look at the two included sets. And with everything out of the bags, well, box. 4 bags, 1 loose base plate, 2 sticker sheets, unsurprising, and the 2 manuals. Now, based on the bag numbering, I'm assuming the F1 is actually the first one off the to-do list, so we'll come back to the Solus. They're both very thick feeling manuals, so anyway, straight into it. So there you go, bags 1 and 2. Bag number 1 builds the base supporting of the chassis, and number 2 will detail it. Building the minifig, and then pretty much away we go. Now this one does not have the loose piece, so F1s being F1s will feel like they build like a technique set to begin with. Yeah, where is the transition to bag number 2? 50 steps in and we're still going. And I believe I've overshot. Maybe I haven't. Already at the halfway mark and I don't think we've switched bags yet. 64 steps to do bag number 1. Bag number 2 starts at 65 and then just quickly flicking through. Very interesting chassis design. Granted, the LEGO set's just based off the real car. But yeah, just looking through it, it does feel like it builds like a bit more of a technique set before you start to switch it over. Coming into the last few stages, the tyres are plastic, which has pretty much been the resounding theme for this entire release wave. And then putting in the driver. There you go, the completed F1 and the parts list for both sets. Quick look at the manual for the Solus. Bags 3 and 4, standard rules of build, and this particular McLaren vehicle will have the 1 loose base plate. And now this will pretty much build as per every other usual vehicle. So I can imagine we should be getting close to transitioning to bag number 2. Or numerically bag number 4. So 46 steps to do the first bag. So it does feel a bit less than the F1. So the F1 actually might be the showpiece of the twin set. And then kicking off from steps 47 onwards. First time I've ever seen this type of little diagram about which one is the correct piece and which one isn't. But always handy to have. Moving into the step 70s, still progressing. Bit of a little intricate build there. For the front, by the looks of it actually. So I will admit, based on looking through the manuals, the vehicles in this release wave have had some very interesting mechanics in the way they've handled geometric shapes and curvatures and things like that for each of the vehicle bits. Plastic wheels once again, up to step 100. And there we go. That's the other McLaren done. So that was the 2 manuals. I'll do the 2 sticker sheets together. If I can get the numbering right. So 2 sticker sheets. The one on the left will be for the F1, the one on the right will be for the Solus. Definitely not too bad for both, relatively small compared to some of the other releases in the wave. Loose base piece, getting quite used to seeing that. As for the 4 bags, bag number 1, which is your typical Speed Champions bag, with 2 small bags included as well. Nothing too unusual in this particular bag. We do have some of these little technical rods and things like that that we saw throughout the build. And then lastly, bag number 2, definitely plastic tires. Not too much in this particular bag, but enough to obviously finish the build. 3 small bags inside since the hubcaps are actually inside. So that's only made one of the releases for this wave where the actual hubcaps were not within the second bag. Bag number 3, moving to the components for the Solus. Lots of orange. 2 small bags inside as well, so nothing too unusual in the way of what's inside. Very much your traditional approach for Speed Champions. And lastly, bag number 4, which is nothing but orange. And there are 2 small bags inside, one of which is the hubcaps. So that brings us to the end of the unboxing of the McLaren twin set, the Solus GT and F1 LM. Now that I've seen the actual build steps for each, overall it's obviously yet another interesting approach to designing and putting these LEGO vehicles together. Definitely looking forward to seeing how this wave actually goes. And even though there's been 2 waves per year, everything still feels relatively unique and distinct from each other, that unlike some other LEGO builds like the mech sets, which seems to be become very heavily recycled. But definitely looking forward to putting these 2 together, as is my thoughts for the whole release wave. Thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video, whether it's more LEGO or something else on the channel. See ya.